Si ndio
Mm.
anajabulia pale anatoka anapaka matope, anapaka matope. Usisahau mahali wewe unakaa, hata kama mvua inanyesha, alafu jamaa anasema kuja msikia hapo kidogo, siwe utakumbuka mpaka
Being home for me is beyond the physical and the emotional. It's very spiritual. I cannot explain to you in common terms or language what being here feels for me and does to me. But I feel whole. I feel complete. I feel at peace. And I think maybe it's just because whenever you are in the diaspora, you know that's not your home. Yes, you make it a home, but when it's all said and done, where is home? Well, at least for me, I say Kenya. I love being here. I really do. But it just breaks my heart right now because being here isn't for like a happy thing. It's because of something that's very heavy for me. Let's talk about honoring grief and celebrating life. I know for a fact that as much as I've been running away from all the grief I've experienced, I haven't really sat down with that emotion, let it do what it needs to do so that it can leave me alone. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now, honoring my grandpa and honoring this grief that I'm feeling because I cannot believe it. I used to see it obviously online when people would say, grief is just proof that, and I get it now. I wouldn't be feeling grief as heavy as I do if I didn't love him as much as I did and as much as I still do. Talking about him in the past tense just makes me feel very guilty. I'm pushing him away. I'm just forgetting about him. So I do my best to talk about him in the present tense. Maybe I'll get there where I can say things like, oh, I loved him and stuff like that. But for now, it's I love him. And I always will. It's just unfortunate that he's not going to be able to see me do a lot of things in life, and I'm not going to be able to witness joy, to witness happiness, to witness contentment, to witness just him experiencing life. I know being back home during this trip, I have to language. I get to work on my relationship with pain, on my relationship, especially emotional pain, on my relationship with grief and what grief means for me, what it looks like. Because honestly, I don't even know what it looks like. Because I feel like I just overwork myself and I do everything that I can to forget about it and not think about it. And it's not productive at all because the issue is still gonna be there once I'm done running. So yeah, I just think this is gonna be it for me in that sense. What am I looking forward to on this journey? Honestly, not much, if I'm being honest. I'm still stuck on loss and grieving. I'm at that point where I feel like I don't feel any joy when I think about tomorrow because my world stopped when I got that phone call that he was gone. And he was ailing prior to that for a while. And my brain is like, well, just let him rest because he was in pain. You just cannot put those two things on a scale. Like, oh, okay, he's ailing, he's in pain. And I'm like, at least he's not in pain anymore. But then on the other hand, I have to live with losing you. I have to live with that. So maybe it's selfish for me to want him to still be here in spite of the pain he was in. But at the same time, I feel like part of me is convincing myself that he's no longer in pain. So as much as it hurts, he's not in pain. But I don't know. I think that's just the complexity of grief, honestly. And I'm obviously trying to intellectualize it right now, like I do most of my hard feelings. But I guess no more intellectualizing. Like, this is where I have to feel it, whether I like it or not, one way or the other. I cannot not think about him. I don't want his memory to just fade. I want to be 50 and I'm still talking about him. When I have kids, I want them to be able to know him like he's still alive. You know, it's a name that I want to keep on my lips for the rest of my life. I'm hoping for some emotional healing to some extent, because I have been, and just apart from loss, obviously, I've been experiencing other forms of emotional pain, been grieving other relationships and stuff like that, and it's too much. It feels like a burden that I just don't know if I can be able to bear. But I'm leaving room and space for hope. I'm leaving room and space for joy to find me again, or for me to find it. So I'm leaving room for happiness. I'm leaving room for laughter, in spite of this pain that I'm in. I would see people talk about losing their grandparents and I would empathize. But empathizing and going through it yourself and experiencing it are two different things. I even empathize more now with anyone that has lost a grandparent or both grandparents. It's a different kind of pain. So yeah, I'm hoping to find little pockets of joy along my way for however long I'm gonna be here before I go back. So I guess this is just a reminder that grief is complex. Emotions, feelings, they're all complex. I'm giving myself permission to feel whatever I feel, and I don't know what is gonna come out of this, but I'm hoping it's something good. I'm hoping it's something good. And I know we've all experienced grief at some point in life. So if you have any pointers that can help me navigate this very difficult chapter of my life, I really appreciate the advice and even just sharing your stories and your experiences, because I feel like that is knowing that we all live complex lives that are so different from each other yet very similar. So I'd love to hear about how you guys dealt with it, and thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.